Hey guys, it's Miss Cranford here. So I am going to go over the Toppling Towers project. And so one thing to consider when you're doing this project is that first of all, it's a toppling tower. And so you'll see in just a minute how the objects on my paper are kind of shifting, going to the left and right because it is not completely stable. And so you do want to keep that in mind, but you also don't want your objects to be floating. You do want them to be touching because it is a tower. And if you've ever played with blocks, you know that the objects are not floating in the air, but they are resting upon each other. So I'm going to move the Elmo so that you can see my paper here. When you get started, you are going to put a door at the bottom of your paper. You see how my door is completely touching the bottom of the paper, so that's a good base for my tower. And before we go on, I'm going to show you, here's kind of what a tower looks like that's been drawn but has not been colored or designed yet. And so you'll see me do this here in just a minute. But I do want to show you a few little tips for drawing the architectural features. And so the first one we're going to look at is post and lintel. And the post and lintel is the easiest one. It's literally a rectangle, and then a rectangle on top. Okay? A column is equally simple, and it's just a rectangle. And then I like to add these other two little rectangles. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to, but that's a good way to add some extra decoration to it, and a lot of real columns actually have that. The next one is arcade. This is not the kind where you play games at. And the way you're going to do an arcade here is you're going to draw a line and then do a jump, draw a line, jump, draw a line, jump. So our arcades are going to have 3 jumps. Now they could have more or they could have less, but I say let's just stick with 3 to make it simple. And then you're going to draw a line, and then you go back over and you kind of stop halfway into the jump. So there is an arcade. A pediment is going to be some equally simple design. So you're going to have a rectangle, and then a triangle on top. Okay, and now windows and doors are pretty simple, except for I have a lot of boys and girls that when they go to draw a window, they draw a rectangle, and then they put a T in the middle, and then that's it. But if you look at this window, it doesn't really have any thickness to it. A line does not show thickness. And so the way that you can fix that is you can add some lines beside of the ones you've already drawn. Okay, and then you can erase the places where it's overlapped. Okay, so that's a simple way that you can draw your window. Or if you feel like maybe you're a little bit advanced, you can draw, let's say this is the window that has like 6 window panes. You can draw your panes like that, and it gives the same effect. So either way is fine with me, but use the way that works best for you. So that's how you draw all of your pieces. And then if we start to look at my tower here, you can see that the things are leaning to the left and right. They're stacked on each other. I could still even add probably 2 more things up here. Okay, and so once you get it all drawn, that's when you're going to start adding your designs. And so, like, for example, I could take maybe to this window and I could add a design on, my door, excuse me. I could add a design on my door, like I could make diagonal lines. Okay, and this is really just going to depend on how quickly you get done. If you're somebody that gets done really fast, well, guess what? Your tower is going to have a lot of designs. Maybe you take a lot of time in drawing your architectural features. Well, then yours may not have as many designs. Okay, and so what you are going to do is you are going to carefully color this in. And so you want to use different colors. You don't want to color over your lines that you've drawn. And so you're going to color that all in really good. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to use a Sharpie or a black colored pencil and just trace over your pencil lines. And so take your time doing that, because if you do either one of those really sloppily, it's not going to matter that you took your time on your tower, because it's going to look messy and sloppy. So take your time, do your best, and I will see you when I get back.